Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, EUF Gizmo, joined this week by Master Das
Hello, everyone.
and Xbox Live's CW Lanky.
Hi, Dave.
So, boys, I am a bit throat ruined again. It was the arm last week. I'm not going to title this one Dave's Got a Bad Throat. We'll go with the tots.
How is the domestic abuse now, Dave?
Yeah,
Has it
it's
eased
okay.
off a little bit?
Yeah, she's not here
Is
at
there
the
some
minute.
guilt?
I don't know.
Okay, you're safe.
Yeah, I'm safe. I've got my Linux computer looking after me, and I know.
I just
know,
changed the locks, mate.
Yeah, you're not far.
Get a big scary dog or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. You're not far, so if I need you, if I whistle,
I'm not getting involved, mate. Just
you can run up and sneak me out the window.
stab me.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's true. But anyway,
I upset her enough as it is, I think. Christ.
well, the amount of Bristol City abuse. I mean, to be honest with you, I probably have about 40 Arsenal memes she sent me on like Instagram that are all around sort of bottle related humour, Craig, that I haven't had the heart to forward onto you. I've just, he's got to go, fam. He's got to go. But anyway, my safety aside, let's get on to the Pengul's news desk. Because again, there's not much news. It's the calm before the storm in Pengi. So talk to us about the Triple I Initiative Indie Roundup Showcase galore.
Yeah, so late last week we had the Triple I showcase, and it's a 45-minute showcase. They say they've got no ads, no host, nothing. It's just games. But they do have like a 30-second break now and again. It's like, we'll go for a little quick break. You can go get a cup of tea, and it comes up on the screen and stuff like that. I watched it, so you guys don't have to. I don't know if you did go watch it, Craig. You're most really the more likely one.
No,
Good.
I did have some intention of watching it because it was on at like 5 o'clock at our time,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I got home from work and I completely forgot that about it. I think I might have fallen asleep, and I think I woke up to your it's not really worth watching, and I was like, all right, that'll do it for me then. If Chris Pengelly's saying a showcase isn't worth watching, I was like, that's probably not worth watching them.
No. So this is in alphabetical order, the list I've got, because I found a list where they were showing everything. Gaming on Linux, Dave. So,
There we go.
they had a list of everything. The first one, maybe some interest for, because I think Crosscode might have been on Game Pass, and I feel like I played it on Switch or something. So they showed the new game from those devs called Alabaster Dawn. That's coming early access May 7th, so that's an early access game there. So you won't really draft it in a fantasy career or anything like that. I don't actually know how Crosscode did. I think
it did really
fairly
well from
Yeah.
memory. I think people really liked
I
that.
think I own that. I think it was one of those games they gave away on like a humble bundle for like 20p or something.
Yeah. So that was that. Next one, Ken, which obviously I played and finished last week. That's getting free DLC coming this summer. So when I saw this turn up, I thought, oh, it must be coming to like Switch 2 or Xbox or whatever. You know, it kind of makes sense. This is only on PlayStation and Steam at the moment. No, but it's getting free DLC this summer, so that is something. I will mostly go back to that. And I guess if either of you do ever pick it up or it comes to a Surface, you're going to have extra content after the summer. The big
this
one.
was a good trailer for Crosscode as well, by the way. This game, I forgot how good this game looked. Okay.
Yeah. Is that Crosscode the one that had the thing where it was like time travel elements?
Yeah, I think
it looks
so.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one I need to get back to. Really.
That and Sea of Stars blend in together.
Sea of Stars
Yeah.
is like the one game I wish, like one indie game that I really should play. I think it's even on disc on like Xbox One as well. Like I should just pick it
Yeah.
up.
And I got quite far on that on PS5 and it's on Plus, but never finished it. So the big game of the show, and again, it's called the Triple I show, and they like, oh, it's gonna be here before the show. And why you might have tuned in, why I tuned in, was Castlevania Belmont's Curse was shown. Which either Empire taught a guy from them who was an English guy, but he was like the studio's French. We set the game in 1449 in France, something like that, and they had a guy from Konami talking as well. They showed a bit of gameplay. They said it's an action adventure game. Obviously, it's a Metroidvania, but I guess we're going to use that title, not a roguelike, stuff like that. They showed Joan of Arc as like an enemy or a boss character and things like that. But still no day. It's just launching 2026 for your Steam, your PS5, your Xbox Series, and Switch One, not Switch Two. It's a little bit disappointing. No Switch 2 version, but they said you'll find out the date soon. Craig, there's rumours we're getting a State of Play this week. You think it could turn up at State of Play, and that's where it gets dated?
Yeah, it would make sense, wouldn't it? Because obviously they partnered with them at the last State of Play, didn't they?
Yeah.
I did actually go and watch this trailer. It came up on my YouTube feed, and it did look very good again, in all honesty.
Yes.
Very good. And I think they did. Didn't they do a bit of like a bit of a deep dive with the developers as well? You had the actual the devs talking about it, and they were saying, yeah, we're French, so we just wanted to set it in France, in all honesty. So it was quite cool to hear from some of the studio leads and see the studio and all that sort of jazz.
Yes. Dave, you got interested in this one? Because I know you're not one for indies, but this it's an indie that isn't an indie, really. Castlevania.
Yeah, we'll see. Because obviously it's the Dead Cells team, so I'd want to see more of it. To be honest, but yeah, for the show, the only game that I've actually watched the trailer for is Warhammer Survivors, and that is the only game I'm interested in. So you can.
I'm going to assume that's a Vampire Survivors game.
It is,
Warhammer?
but with Warhammer. Yeah. So I'm all in, and it's coming out to like everything. So, but yeah, that's all I've seen from this show, Pengi.
Go. Next one is Dead as Disco. I've seen a few people be interested in this one after it's shown. It's coming early access 5th of May. It is coming to consoles and that after early access. So it's like a beat 'em up game. Kind of gives me High Right 5 Rush song vibes, but it's obviously got different music and stuff. Like it's playing like the final countdown where you're beating up these enemies and stuff like that.
It's the final countdown.
Yeah, that's happening when you're beating down all these enemies and that, Craig. And they got a few other songs you would know. It does look quite good. It's got streamer safe tracks as well if you want to stream it, Craig. But obviously going to miss out on the final countdown there. So,
but still we stand tall.
I'd love to sing along, but my throat can't take can't take Swedish power ballads, Craig.
Is it Europe?
Yeah. It was
Europe.
This and Heaven, which was like a lovely ballad song.
It was, yeah. It was a banger as well.
It was. Great stuff.
We got a world premiere for Graveyard Keeper 2, which is coming to literally everything. It's not like it normally just shows Steam. It's showing GOG, Epic, Switch 2, everything. The bit of news here is they gave away Graveyard Keeper 1 on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox. It wasn't free on the eShop. I did look, but they put it down to like £1.29 or something. So maybe it's something with Nintendo. You can't actually get the game away for free. I don't know. I did I don't know, buy it. Obviously, like it's free, but that's how like the PlayStation thinks you've done. Hey, if you download this or
I added it to my Xbox library, but I've obviously not played it. I've heard good things. It's just it's one of those games. Do I have time ever?
No. It might be good on the claw.
Yeah, I think that's how if I'm gonna play it, that's how I probably would play it.
Yeah. What about you, Craig?
I have no idea what it is, in all honesty.
It's like Stardew Valley with more combat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a game called Long Gone, which I like the look of. Is coming 2027 to Steam. It's like a zombie pixel game. Like the art looks a bit like Replaced, but slightly more colourful, with zombies and stuff like that. That's one I got slight interest in. Another one that I've got interest in is Neverway. You remember this one, Craig, from the artist of Celeste?
Oh yeah, because the game that the Celeste team was making, they cancelled in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, that got cancelled. Yeah.
Is it Matty makes games or is it something else? They changed
Matty
the name
makes
again.
games now. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I knew this.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is from the pixel artist of Celeste and Neverway. They announced a prologue available now, which you can go get on Steam, and the game is coming this year in October in Steam and on the Switch One, sort of thing. It could be a fantasy pickup and stuff. I have seen some positive things for the prologue. I haven't played the prologue myself because it's quite a while away from October. I'd like to play the prologue, and then I'm waiting ages to chapter 1 or whatever how it's done, so I've not downloaded that myself. That one. Then we got Over the Hill, which is the new game from the guys that made Art of Rally, where you're driving the Land Rovers. It's a co-op game. I think you can play as
Yeah,
3
it's a
players.
strange concept. I feel this because I don't know. I
Yeah.
like Heart of Rally, but then like the idea of like playing this with people who are all going to buy it as well just seems a bit.
Yeah, they showed Algeria. They're driving around in like Algeria now, and you got your trucks and stuff. One's got more of a Land Rover, one's got slightly more of a Jeep, and one's got like a big army truck thing in the trailer here, the 3 of them. So we can play that 3-player co-op. There's a beta test coming. That's literally what they announced here. Still no date, but the full game is coming to Switch 2 and PS5. So we can play it co-op on Switch 2, Dave, because you hate the PlayStation. So.
Woo!
Then it was nothing for ages. Oh, they announced the Temtem Pioneers game, which is a Temtem cozy game. Wonder where they got that idea from, Dave.
Temtem and Pal World just keep doing every genre with the same like thing, and I can't keep up because I get Temtem and Pal World confused with each other now. That's where we're at. Just
Yeah,
they're all going to do it now. Now that Nintendo keep losing all these patent lawsuits, there'll be copycat games galore, I suspect, going forward.
yeah. We also got Warren Spector. Remember him, Dave? His new game, Thick as Thieves. I don't really know what this game is, but it is his game. It's coming.
I thought there was already a game called Thick as Thieves that came out on Xbox One.
Yeah, I played it. It's got a very similar name. It was a Telltale-like game, and I played season 1, and I had to wait for the episodes, and it finished, I think, on a bit of a cliffhanger, and that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was like one of the first Game Pass games, right?
Yeah. But yeah, this is also I think it's a PvE game thing. It looks a little bit like Dishonored.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
But it is from Warren Spector. That's why I shut that in. Then Warhammer Survivors. The announcement here is coming to consoles. Dave, obviously you could play it on your Linux gaming as this.
Maybe it's pretty good with a mouse, but I quite like the sticks. This will be either Steam or Xbox Play Anywhere, probably, for comfort to play in the claw, right? But yeah, they're addictive, these games. I really like Warhammer, so all good.
And that was basically it from the AAA. There was obviously other stuff, but I think that's the ones we got slight interest or I can talk about, such as Warren Spector, as we know who that guy is.
Perfect.
But that is it, really.
Thank you very much. Also, Warhammer Survivors, Craigo, made in Bristol, so up the UK.
Absolutely.
Up the UK.
Hopefully they're all Manor Farm and Rovers fans.
I tell you what, I reckon I'm going to go out on the limb and say that they're not football fans. They just like Warhammer. All they do is make Warhammer games. I think they've done 3 bolt gun games and this. Anyway, right. Well, that was the news. Short and sweet, because like we said, there's a potential Luna death, but until they're officially dead, we won't bother talking about Luna.
For this week, so I guess the next podcast is the much rumored state of play.
Yeah, be that in the Xbox Metro first look, right? If that happens.
Yeah, so. And Star Fox is rumored to be announced this week or next as well. So,
but we don't deal in rumors, Pengi, so we'll have to see what happens next week. But what we do deal in is video games. So we're going to start with our tots, Pengi. Tots. It's the game of the year 2016. So we've been doing this back from from whatever year we are currently in, right?
Yes, we restarted the list for 2020 because
2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, yeah, we did 2021 as the normal yearly one, and then we must have missed 2020 because I've got my list here. I presume I can't remember what won that. I gather. I honestly don't know. I can't tell from my list what would have won. I don't think it was The Last of Us Part 2, because it's Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah,
I think
that
it was
one, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But the year we're talking about today, Pengi, is 2016.
It's 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. And this is the year we started the podcast.
Yeah.
So that was the first year of Pod of War. There was no Craig then, he was just a big fan. So we're going to talk about our list. So I know you love the stats with the list, boys. As I teased at the start of the show, this is the closest list we've ever made for anything. So there's actually only 18 unique games, which is crazy for us. And the top 10 includes 9 games that at least 2 people had on their list. There's only one game that is a singular pick, and there's 2 games that's got all 3 of us. So
nice.
We'll start with number 10. Excuse me if I pause because the throat is dying. So our number 10, I'll do the ones that didn't make it afterwards. We'll get the suspense in. But number 10 for us with 8 points is Gears of War 4, which Craig had at number 10 and I had at number 4. So Craig go.
Wait, I thought you hated Gears of War 4.
We'll let Craig talk and then we'll get to my reasoning. But Craig go.
Yeah, so I'm not a big Gears of War 4 fan at all, Pengi. It's my least favourite Gears of War game.
No, I thought you liked it. I thought Dave hated it.
No, I'm not a big fan of 4 at all. I like 5. 4 I thought was pretty bang average. But it is still a somewhat fun Gears of War game. And as I alluded to with you boys in the chat, this is a strange year because I played a lot of multiplayer games this year for a lot of time. And not a lot of single player games, so it kind of made it a little bit on, like, I just hadn't played that much else, but yeah, that's why it was so low down for me.
Fair enough. So for me, Pengi, the reason it's so high is, so it is my least favorite, is it my least favorite Gears? It's my least favorite mainline Gears game, but it's, like Craig said, it's still a good Gears game. So the multiplayer and the Horde mode, incredibly good, like incredibly good, played over 100 hours. The single player I didn't mind. I just really didn't like the ending boss. You're like in 2 mechs and then you fight like a giant thing and it was kind of bad. But the rest of it I didn't mind. I went and rewatched all of these games just to kind of sort of get myself into what the games were, like as opposed to it just being pure nostalgia. And the set pieces were really cool in Gears 4. The stuff that I forgot that was in Gears 4, like the Typhoon level, if you remember, that they showcased I think at E3 that year. Which was really fun to play. Some of the new weapons were really cool, and I think it had an okay story. I said the final boss was kind of the thing that left me a bit sour, and it's just not as good as the previous games. It has the Halo 4 problem for me, because me and Craig went back and played Halo 4 not that long ago, and we both really enjoyed it. I think we both agree that the worst thing about it was the ending, right? That's pretty much the thing with Halo 4, and Gears 4 does suffer a similar fate, Pengi. But in terms of the overall package, I played it an awful lot and I really enjoyed it. So that's why it made my number 4.
Nice. It is in the 3 that didn't make my top 10 list.
Yeah, we'll talk about everyone's list at the end, Peggy, because yours is definitely the most different. Like when we get to it, we'll talk about it. But I suppose good timing. The number 9 game is the only game that is just picked by one person. That is Pengi's pick of Fire Emblem Fates. I'm assuming you mean all 3. Because you played them all.
Yeah,
through.
Because
I played Birthright and it wouldn't have made my top 10.
Yeah, there is the special edition which has all 3 story on one. So Craig, if you don't know, so with Fire Emblem Fates, they did like the Pokemon thing. They made I say they made 2. They actually made 3. So they made 2 at retail, Birthright and Conquest, and you're playing as 2 different like royal families and stuff. You're a character that's, I can't remember. You're born from one country, but you get adopted by the other one.
You're born of like the evil one, but you're adopted by the nice one.
Yeah, so you're related to like every character in the game. Like you're the princess or the prince of like everyone and thing, and they both nations want you to join because you're the key. You're like the main. You're obviously the main character. So I played, but there's a 3rd version where you go against both versions, which is DLC only, unless you bought the special edition of the game. I have played all 3 versions of the game. Revelations was the third one. I played not that long. I say not that long ago. It was supposed to be 5-6 years ago now, but it wasn't 10 years ago. But I did play Birthright and Conquest back to back when they came out. I bought both versions like you do because the stories were quite different and stuff. Compared to like Pokemon, it's normally just the Pokemon that's different. So you did have different stories and who you know, the different units and different characters which you wouldn't have met if you played the one version or had played the other version. Yeah, it's just Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's like great. It's like a if you've watched episodes recently, you know, like, what am I waiting for my Switch 2? It's Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is like my favorite Nintendo series now, so this is always going to be really high. And it's interesting looking back like this, oh yeah, the 3DS. You remember the 3DS? That was 10 years ago. What a console! Just a year before the Switch. Great times.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to our number 8 game, which is on 2 of our lists. Is actually Pengles is number 1 and my number 10. So it had 11 points. And that is Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
That is outrageous. It's your number 10, Dave.
It made the list. You should be pleased. My list is real good. My list is real good. So I'll talk about mine, then Pengi can wax lyrical. Uncharted 4 is a great game. It's the weakest mainline Uncharted game. I would say it's a little bit too long in the tooth. Obviously, I replayed it recently on Steam and went back to the multiplayer. So I'm talking from a point of played it recently. Uncharted 4, when it's really, really good, it's really, really good. When it's really, really not, it's really, really not. If you compare it to 1, 2, and 3, it's nowhere near as good as 2 and 3, which is quite consistent throughout. There's bits of 4 that drag a little bit. Sam's character, I don't think he's particularly good, and Rafe is a terrible boss, like antagonist. The story is about Nate and Elena, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. Like I said, there is not a bad game on my list. It was very hard to make a top 10 for this year. It's a very good. But I wanted it to be on there because it did represent a lot for the podcast as well, because it was one of the games that got me to buy a PS4. So I wanted it to be on there. But compared to the other PS4 game that I have on my list, it's not even close. But yeah, still a great game. But like I said, it's a good year. But yeah, Pengi, what was your number 1?
Yeah, so this is the second best Uncharted after Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 is the best one. That's why it won our best sequel thing. But yeah, Uncharted 4, they took everything they learned from like The Last of Us and brought it over to Uncharted. So you've got like the cool, and they actually expanded that onto like Last of Us Part 2, like the open. That's more open.
So you
world,
can kind of see why I don't like it, Craigo. That's quite as much.
Yeah, I think if we had done Game of the Year, if we tried to find it, didn't we? I don't know if it would have won.
Do it. I think it probably would have won, because I don't think that anything on these lists. No, actually, it wouldn't have won. The game that won would have won, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so it does, like I said, it takes like the stuff that Last of Us did and brings it over to Uncharted and does it, very well. Star, like you said, isn't the best character like addition and things like that. This is like, I think if Craig was to go play Uncharted now after playing both Last of Us, I would say this would be your.
It's the most modern game, I think. Like
it's the most modern,
yeah.
and it does like the free road stuff. I think free is a hard one, like you said, Dave. Because the problem is free so much like 2, and 2.
Yeah, I think 3. It's difficult because they're all unbelievable games. I think 3, because it has Helen Mirren in it. She's quite a good baddie, and I quite like the set pieces in 3 a lot. Like the plane and the desert are really, really good in 3. Whereas I don't think Scotland and Madagascar are that interesting when I went and replayed it. So that, I think that's probably the key bit, because I think for a one-off play, it's great. When I replayed it, there was a lot of parts of that game where I was like, oh, this drags a bit. Especially then to go into Lost Legacy as well, which I think does the open world a little bit better. I think that's probably fair to say.
Yeah, because I guess with Lost Legacy, it's just the open world pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got a couple set pieces either side, but
yeah.
But yeah, like Pengi said, though, it's a great game. Like, again, there's not a bad game on this list, so having it at number 8 is no shame. So are we ready for number 7, boys?
Yes.
So this is one of the 2 games that's on everyone's list. Me and Pengi had it at number, I've got to do the maths now. I'm going to say 6, but it could be 5. I'm going to say 6. And Craig, I think, had it as 7. And that is Ratchet and Clank 2016. So we haven't heard from Craig. So Craig, talk to us about Ratchet and Clank 2016.
Yeah, it's really cool. I started this game back in remember the 6 months of glory of the PlayStation 4?
I remember it well. Monster Hunter World, that's all I remember.
Yeah, and I never finished it, and then I restarted it on the PS5. I think I went back and played it again. I can't remember if I'd played Rift Apart by then or not. It might have been before Rift Apart.
Yeah, I think
it's great.
Just before, because Rift Apart was upcoming.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe Rift Apart was coming to Plus or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, it's very fun. I might even like it a bit more than Rift Apart. I don't know. It's a bit more open, a bit more old school feeling. If maybe that kind of just vibes better with that sort of game. It's very silly as well, right? You got a lot of the silly characters and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this game. Um, and yeah, it just kind of shows how good of a year it was that this was, like, I think 7 for me, right, Dave? So
Yeah, yeah, and 6
a
for
game that's that
Pengi.
good. So
Yeah, before we get to Pengi, for me, Ratchet and Clank, and so I went back and looked at we did a PlayStation special Pod of War, and I put this as my favourite PS4 game. When we did it, I think we did it in like 2018, 2019 with Pete, if you remember Pengi. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Ratchet and Clank is a really good remake of a game. Obviously graphically still stunning. And added a lot of stuff that was in the movies. So he had Sylvester Stallone as one of the characters, and I think it brought the essence of the original game and the origin story, but they updated it, and it's a great game. I like Rift Apart a little bit more, but I think they're two incredible games. When PlayStation gets it really right, they get it really right, and oftentimes that's Insomniac. And yeah, I think Ratchet and Clank, if you haven't played any Ratchet and Clank game and you have a PS5, Ratchet and Clank 2016 into Rift Apart is a perfect way to go for me.
yeah.
I think they're two really incredible games. But Pengi.
Yeah, you've both nailed it. It's just great. Is it a 3D platformer? I know
Mm-hmm.
because obviously you got the weapons and stuff
Yeah.
like that. compared
3D
to, like, a
adventure
Mario
game, I suppose. Like,
3D adventure game.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good one of them.
Perfect. So for number 6 is a game that you two had on your list. One of you had it at 6. That'd be Craig, and Pengi had it at 4. It was probably my number 14 because I have played it and finished it, but didn't quite make my list. And when we talk about the games that didn't make the overall list, like it's a great year. This is one of those years that could be up for greatest ever year, and that is Firewatch. So Craig, what do you think of Firewatch?
Yeah, I had Firewatch at 6.
Yeah, that's not right. It's 5 points. I've just put it in
Yeah,
the madness the way I put it.
yeah. I think it was one of the first like walking sim like games that I played. I think, and it's kind of stuck with me because it's very, very good. It's got fantastic voice acting between like the two characters that you obviously on the walkie-talkies. It, it's got a really like cool, unique setting where you're just you're in your like Firewatch tower in your woods and that. It's just got this like really like cool like art style. It's got very good like vibes of it, and you're just kind of like you're just walking around this like little map. You're talking on this walkie-talkie to obviously this woman, and like it's all just feels really organic, and like even as you're like playing, you're like, oh yeah, this is like this is. I'm bonding with these characters. Yeah, I just think it's such a like cool, unique, like original walking sim. Maybe before like they started becoming all and everything a bit, maybe. I think the only bad thing about this game is the ending was a bit like bland, right? It was a bit just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're kind of expecting more to have like gone on, more to happen, and it was just like, oh no, it's just kind of a run of the mill ending. You're like, oh okay, maybe I hope you're something a bit more climactic than that. But yeah, it's a game that's always like stuck with me, which is pretty cool for like just a simple ass walking sim like this, right?
for sure.
Absolutely, Pengi.
Yeah, Craig's got quite a lot. Like obviously, I played this multiple times. Like the first time you play it, it's like, oh, something going on here. Like, is this like a slightly gonna be like a slight horror game? Obviously, it doesn't turn out to be like that. But yeah, the dialogue between the two characters, Henry and Delilah, is really good. That's why it's got it really high on my list. And this year, I think 2016, I should say, is a great year for indie titles. And obviously, this is the highest one on my list. I got it fourth. But yeah, it's really good.
Lovely. So let's get to our top 5. So this is a game that was a late addition to mine. I had it at number 8 after going back to it, and Craig had it at number 2, and that is Titanfall 2 from Respawn Entertainment. Craig. So yeah, I played up until just on the level where you like can go back and forward through time.
Right, yeah.
So that's pretty good. I think I played 106 hours of multiplayer, so it would have made the list on multiplayer alone. But I was like, I might as well play the campaign. But yeah, it's a cool game. It's cool that Titanfall got a story. The multiplayer gameplay is still probably my favorite shooter gameplay. Titanfall 1 and 2. Everything feels great. The mech stuff's fantastic. And yeah, but yeah, Craig can talk about it more because obviously he's played it a lot more than I have. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and that's why it made it as high. The multiplayer was just so good, so good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, right? I don't know if it maybe like it doesn't have that like big moment like you remember when we all saw Titanfall 1 being shown for the first time and it was like holy
I bought an
shit.
Xbox One to play the beta, Craig. That's how much that game
Yeah,
impressed me.
it's like, I have never seen a game like that. That looks unbelievable. Obviously, you kind of when you're doing a sequel to something like that, so it's difficult. But I did think the multiplayer is really good, and that campaign is just fantastic. It is just 6 hours of just pure fun. It's very very good. It has no right to be as good as it is, but yeah, Respawn always good with that sort of shit, right? And they nailed it with that. It's a great game. Like I said, it doesn't quite have the legacy of Titanfall 1 because that was just so special. But yeah, it was great shit.
Yeah, we got to remember EA sent it out to die, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, 'cause it was like a week after Battlefield, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
a week before Call of Duty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was sandwiched in between both, and it was just like, what are you expecting?
And it was the
to
year they
happen there?
really marketed Battlefield. It was Battlefield 1, right? So it was like
Yeah.
they really pushed it, and yeah, bless it. It's still the best of those three games. I'll say it. But
Yeah, most probably is.
Titanfall's great, and another great
I
game.
didn't realise was Battlefield 1 that year as well. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, it was
because I know like it's not a Craig game, but I know that's like one of the Battlefields that people really hold in like high
Battlefield
regard,
1's problem, if I remember it rightly, is it was really janky at launch.
Right.
And then they fixed it because I think it had like a weird campaign that was like in sections. Maybe it was either that one or 5. Again, the naming didn't help. I can't remember what Call of Duty it was. I feel like it was
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. So, yeah, because they then put out 4 remastered as well.
Yeah.
So there was like 4 shooters at the same within a week of each other. No Halo though, so thank God.
I'm surprised Titanfall 2 wasn't slightly higher. I thought that was like one of my predictions, apart from another game that's on my list. It's like they could have won this.
I think had I finished the campaign when the game came out, if it continues the rate it's playing now, it could be a little bit higher on my list. But the 4 games above it are all incredibly good, Pengi. So we'll move on to that. So at number 4 on the list, Craig had it at number 4, and I had it at number 6. And that is Doom 2016. Which is a great game. I played it last year, right, for my backlog challenge on Steam Deck. Enjoyed every blood-soaking second of it. It is just pure fun-ass gameplay. But you don't want to hear what I've got to say about Doom. You want to hear what Craig has to say about Doom.
Yeah, it was. It was a moment when this came out because I feel like it was one that people were just kind of slept on. Because it was like, oh, who really cares about like boomer shooter shit? In 2016, like we'd moved on, hadn't we?
Mm.
We were over it at this point. It isn't like now where there seems to be a lot of them. And then this came out and it was so good. It was just like, oh, this is fucking incredible. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to making these games. And suddenly now, obviously, we have like there's a lot more of this sort of thing that's come out, right? But yeah, Doom 2016 is fantastic. It was hard for me to place it because like of the 3 modern Doom games, Eternal was so like much my favorite and like one of my favorite games like ever that I'm like it's hard for me to then place the other 2. But yeah, Doom 2016 is still, even if you don't compare it to Doom Eternal and just hold it in isolation, it's still such a fantastic video game. It's so much fun. And yeah, it kind of brought that formula back, and we're still kind of seeing that play out now with a lot of games like this coming out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a great game from a great studio, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Following on from that, our number 3, boys, which is Craig's number 6. No, Craig's number 5, and my number 1. Not on Pengi's list, this one, but this is Forza Horizon 3. So Craigo, tell us about Forza Horizon 3.
This is Australia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, Fantastic game. A little bit down on my list for me, just because like compared to 4 and 5, I didn't play it anywhere near as much. I feel. Still played it quite a lot. I feel like we played it quite a lot as a group
We
back
had
then,
a
Dave.
big group, yeah. Me, you, Dan,
Yeah,
Andy, John. Like it was a
yeah.
bit of
We
Pengals
were
every now and
like,
then. It was a big group.
yeah. This the start of the meme of Chris Pengelly missing checkpoints all the time.
Possibly. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
No,
I feel like this.
was it? No, I
This
think it was 4. Was it 4? I didn't
I
play
don't know.
much for Horizon 3 whatsoever. It has not one that I even like. I saw it was out this year, but I didn't even contemplate putting it on the list because I don't think I even finished it. Where obviously, 4 and 5, did.
Yeah, it was the first of the like, because I know like 1 and 2 are like, I'd never played 1 and 2, but they're still very highly regarded. But it was almost the first like the modern like Forza Horizon games. I don't know if I'm right in saying
Mm.
that, Dave, where like
Yeah.
this almost became the template then for 4 and 5.
Yeah.
It kind of like I feel like this was like the start of like pushing the Horizon series really into like the spotlight. Because like 1 and 2 are kind of more, I feel, even for the, like the hardcore, like the real Xbox guys and that. Whereas like then it got to 3 and then 4 kind of like took over from that again, and like it now like Forza Horizon is arguably Xbox's biggest franchise. I think that's probably pretty fair to
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
I know obviously if you're not counting like COD and all that, but yeah. It's still a great game. I don't think I ever played the DLCs. What were the DLCs for free, Dave?
It was Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I don't think I did
And
there.
fuck, what's the other one? It might have been Rally Adventure. No, it wasn't Rally Adventure. I'm gonna have to look now. Storm Island, maybe.
Yeah, it was something like that. Wasn't there
I
like a
played.
winter one?
I played them to
I think
death.
Storm Island's right. I think it's because it was obviously like Australia, so it's like quite outbacky, wasn't it? So I think there was like a winter like
So the
one to be different.
DLC was Hot Wheels and Blizzard Mountain. So I was close.
That's
Which was
it.
like
Yeah,
a
I knew it was in
icy
winter.
rally game. So yeah, for Forza Horizon 3 for me, I bought the Ultimate Edition of the game. There was a few of us that did. Got it early. I have something stupid like 200 hours in this game. I played 1 and I've played some of 2, and I think I played 2 Fast and Furious as well before this. But it's the big expansion of the series. I think everyone forgets this was the year of Phil, so this was the year that we got Xbox Play Anywhere. So this and Gears 4 were pushed massively on Xbox Play Anywhere. I remember the stage show where they had someone on an Xbox, someone on a PC, and all kinds of stuff. If you remember that E3 that year, with the newly released Xbox One S, I think. And yeah, it just took everything that was good about Forza Horizon 1 and 2 and then just ratcheted up a level. Australia was a really good setting. The cars were fun. The DLC was fantastic. The multiplayer was great. Forza Horizon 3. I'm torn between 3 and 4 as my favourite, but all 3 of the post 2 games are amazing. So, and I'm sure Forza Horizon 6 will feature prominently on this year's list, no doubt. But yeah, great game. And if you've got Forza Horizon 3 and you own it, it's Xbox Play Anywhere, go back and play it. The game's still great. Still gets it's got a lot of content. So
I bet it still looks like beautiful now.
yeah,
So
on my
still
claw
like
it looks
incredible.
ridiculous because I played it on Xbox One S, but when I load up on my claw and it's in like 120 whatever frames, 1200p, everything on ultra. It's a sexy looking game. It's got the Lamborghini. It's like the main car, if I remember rightly. Great stuff. But boys, number 2 in our list is a game that I had at my number 2, and Craig had at his number 3. Pengels, any guess of what that game could be?
I don't.
So it's a game that you have played to completion, which is why we were a little bit surprised it didn't make your at least a 10. And that is Quantum Break.
Okay.
So-
It's by number 11.
Nice. Craigo, talk to us about Quantum Break.
Yeah, so this was one of the big like Xbox One. I know obviously it wasn't launched, but it was like it must have been shown around.
They
launch,
showed
right?
it on in the E3 2013. It didn't have
Yeah,
Iceman in the trailer, but they showed like
yeah.
what it was.
This was one of those games, and I remember when they like showed it, looking at it and thinking like, oh, that's like it seems like a cool concept, but like I just didn't think it was ever gonna work. Having like the TV show mixed in with the game. I don't think I would have played a Remedy game before then either, so I had no idea who Remedy like were or you know who these madmen were and what they were capable of. And I remember like actually playing it, and like I said, I wanted it to be good because I thought it was a cool concept, but I didn't. I had kind of like I had doubts absolutely. And then when you play it, it's like it worked so well. Obviously, it must have been my first Remedy game. It's a studio that I've gone on to love since then. And they did such a good job of the TV show. It didn't feel at all like a video game company trying to make a TV show. It felt like a genuine like box office. Like this is serious. Like felt like high production value. It had like really good like actors. It was really well written, and the way they mixed it in with the gameplay. The gameplay, like I don't think was like it's not Control. It's not like that level of amazing combat and all that, but it was good enough to like go with it, and it had a cool setting and a cool lead character, and they did cool stuff where like if you found something in the game, then that would change, the TV show part of it, and it was just really unique, really like well done. It was better than I think it had any right to be, in all honesty. And it's kind of a shame that we never got like a direct sequel or anything like that, Davey, because I feel like that'd be really cool, especially nowadays where TV now is even
Yeah.
bigger than it was in 2016, wasn't it? Like TV's almost bigger than bloody films nowadays, isn't it? So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
the concept is really it's really interesting to have like the TV episode, and it was you got to remember it was Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, it was the late
yeah,
Lance Reddick, it was Sean Ashwell from X-Men, it was Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings. Like it was actors. It wasn't like Johnny No Names. Like they had good actors. So for me, again, like this was I played a little bit of Alan Wake, obviously not really a game for me, and a little bit of Max Payne, but for me as an Xbox One guy, really at the time, it was like to me it felt like our Infamous. Like that's a really similar game to me, Infamous, because it was the sort of good and bad decisions. You had your powers. Graphically, an absolutely stunning game. I will say, an absolutely stunning game at the time. And I'm sure it's on PC now, and I'm sure it looks amazing on PC. Yeah, but again, I enjoyed every aspect of it. Like, I didn't really play games like this at the time. The shooting's good. The powers were great. The characters are really interesting. Like, both perspectives of the story were quite interesting. It's one of those games I really want to go back and do like an evil run to get the other set of achievements and get the completion. But yeah, it's just a game that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. And to me, it was the best story game I played all of that year. Which I didn't expect when I got it, because I remember I'm pretty sure it came with Alan Wake. It was one of those. It was at the time as well when Xbox would put these games out and they'd have like download codes for backwards compatible games. So I'm pretty sure it came with Alan Wake as well. But yeah, absolutely unbelievably good game. If you haven't played Quantum Break, it's one of those games. It's really cheap on PC, and obviously it's on Xbox, on like Game Pass. I would really recommend it because you can see the foundations for Control, right? In this, like
yeah,
it's not quite got to the like Control level yet, but you can see their way of thinking because it's a lot more sophisticated than Alan Wake and Max Payne, to be completely honest with you. But like, it's not quite Control, but like, it's a good game. It's one of those that's like, people like these kind of like PlayStation style story games now, right? Like if they ported this to PlayStation 5 in like 4K, I think it would do super well. Like I think people would be like,
yeah,
this shit's great.
Mm.
But yeah, because you said it was your number 11, Pengi. So why did you not have it over VA11 HAL A?
You mean Valhalla?
I'm just reading what I'm seeing, Pengi.
Yeah. So yeah, I just did my rankings and stuff, and obviously worked out was higher. I thought Quantum Break was, a very good, video game stuff like that. But like Valhalla, maybe it's a bit of the novelty pick and stuff like that. Obviously, being on the Vita, it was a Vita exclusive at the time as well. Visual novels and stuff would work really well on that. On the Vita, portable. things like that. I played a lot of that. I did multiple endings and stuff. If you could go back on my trophy, one we talked about quite a bit, I think, back in 2016. Obviously, back on like the old channel as well. So,
Indeedy. Well, thankfully, Pengi, it made no difference to what was going to be the number one, because the number one was a clear winner, and the game that was on all of our lists, which I don't know if that's a surprise for you all, but we'll see. And that
I was kind of surprised it's on your list.
I played like 70 hours of Overwatch on PS4, Pengi. I think everyone forgets this. It's just because I played it on PS4, not on Xbox, I suspect. But yeah, I played Overwatch a lot. I think we played Overwatch quite a lot together, Pengi. Pretty sure that there's like 4 podcasts in a row, I think, where we recorded the podcast playing Overwatch, I think.
Yeah. But I thought that was like all you played of Overwatch was like 6 hours.
No, I played a lot of it. Yeah, I have quite a lot of achievements on it. As a trophy of it as well. But yeah, I just didn't get into the deep grind. But you two will tell me about the deep grind, because I had it at number 9, so I think it was just a bit better than Uncharted 4 for me, just for how much I played it and just how much I enjoyed it. But it's Overwatch Origins Edition, right? That was the disc that came with it. So like I said, I've said my piece. I really enjoyed it. I played Reinhardt a lot. Had a couple of different groups that liked playing it, and I just enjoyed it. It was a multiplayer game. Like Craig said, it was a very strong multiplayer year, but this was up there for multiplayer wise. But Craigo, why was it your number one?
Well, Dave, you said you have 70 hours. Those are rookie numbers, Dave. You got to push those numbers up.
I have seen your Xbox hours, yeah.
Looking at true achievements, I basically played 21 days of Overwatch.
Cool.
Yeah, which is a number that
about 600 hours.
Yeah, other than like the Call of Duties back in the day, where I was a proper filthy, dirty, unwashed Call of Duty addict, and maybe some of the FIFAs, I don't know. It's probably not a lot of games that I played for more than that. I was absolutely addicted to this game. Absolutely addicted. I used to play it like non-stop. Most of the time on my own as well. I had like a couple of friends who played it, but like I don't know, I just used to like just playing on my own, doing the ranked. Which again, compared to like the Call of Duty days, I was always playing with friends back then, so that obviously helps the social aspect of it, where the hours just go by. Whereas this is just me playing on my own for like 21 days. And I loved it. I used to watch the esports. I knew the metas. I knew the teams. I was in deep. I've said before on podcasts and all that. When I get into a multiplayer game, I'm all in or I'm not at all. And this is one of the last like all-ins I really had with multiplayer. I was locked. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I still remember before it came out, like even just like people in work would just be talking about it, because obviously like then Blizzard doing a multiplayer shooter was such like a big thing, right?
Yeah.
There was so much hype for it. And they were releasing the animated shorts. The animated shorts looked incredible, and they were showing off just like drip feeding out the characters. And I just remember like there'd be people in work just going on about, oh, did you see the Reaper? They announced Reaper, and they announced his abilities and all this, and then people would be going on about like, oh, and then McCree got announced, and like it felt like such a massive event. And yeah, even like now in 2026, 10 years later, if you boys were like, right, we're getting into a multiplayer game again, Craig, you've got to do it. We're dragging you in. You've got to commit. What is it? Overwatch should be the answer. So straight away. I know it's changed a lot since when I played it. It's a lot different, but I still think that would be the clear and obvious like multiplayer game that I would want to play. Which 10 years later and having played 21 days worth, kind of says a lot about just how damn good and just how addicted I was to this game. This was like the clear winner for me. This is a very good year for me in games. And it was really hard for me to like come up with the order of my 10, because there are a lot of games where I was like, oh, on a different day I could easily see me swapping this and that and moving it around, whereas this was like the clear like no debate, that's my number one. It's a long way ahead of everything else. So yeah. What about you, Pengi?
So I've played, between PlayStation 4, I did play, it says it's played half an hour of the PS5 version, but between the PS4 and the Xbox, I did play on Xbox as well, because I went to free to play, remember? I tried to see if I could find how long I played it on PC, because I have played it a bit on PC. And I will tell you, I've downloaded it today on PC, but I haven't actually played it yet. I think I'm 193 hours, so nothing compared to you, Craig.
Those are
Obviously,
that's strong numbers for Chris Pengelly on
but it's
multiplayer, though.
still
In
obviously like
fairness.
100 more than you, Dave. Yeah, so I main Mercy most mainly. I mainly play as Mercy. I play as a healer character. There's a clip somewhere of me going online. I've got a plan or something where I changed to Widowmaker. It is like GNamer forum law because we were losing. I think it was the London map. What was it called? High Road? Thing with the
Kings Road.
taxis? Yeah, Kings Road. That's the one with the taxis, and you move in that one. And then like one of the enemies, and I switched to Widowmaker, and like I'm hopeless this night. I don't know why I ever played with Widowmaker. This is a weird one for me, rank, because I used to have this, and I might still have it in my top 100 and quite high. Oh, I say quite high, but I managed for like 80 odd, because it's like at the time, if we'd done this in 2016, it most probably Uncharted 4 would have been my number one, Overwatch most probably my number two, and stuff. And then like I'm getting to this list, I was like, Overwatch is going to be near the bottom. Really, it's like, you know, times change. Like when we do the 2013 list or something, back in 2013, Last of Us wouldn't be on your list, Craig, but now it might be. Sort of thing. It's like, where do you put Overwatch? But I was like ranking these games and stuff. I was like, yeah, it was so good. I've put so much time in. I played so much multiplayer with like the G-Neighbor lads and stuff on, PS4, and there was like those like jokey moments where I said about playing as Widowmaker, and sort of thing. Yeah, it's great. It's like interesting if like I said, I have downloaded it. Going back now, like so many new characters would have been added. I think like Ash was the last new character when I played it. Like the cowgirl character voiced by, I feel like she's voiced by Jennifer Hell, sort of thing. It's like that, and now there's like so many new characters like added. Like who should I be playing as? Can I still play as Mercy, or should I be playing as someone else? This many years later, sort of thing. Yeah, I thought this had a chance of winning from the thing.
And there we go. So we'll go on the list of games that didn't make it. So for Craig, two games didn't quite make it. That's Watch Dogs 2 and Inside.
Yeah, I mean, Watch Dogs 2, again, that was right near the bottom of my list, in fairness.
Yeah.
It is a fun game, but God, the story and the characters are bloody just cringe as all fuck. But it is a fun game. It kind of built on what Watch Dogs 1 was. Made it a bit more fun actually gameplay wise. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised Inside wasn't on Pengi's list.
It is. It's my number 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because I think I had it 6 or 7, was it? I want to say
7.
Yeah, number 7. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. It's very cool. I don't think I had that and Firewatch as my two indies, and I was like, I guess the consensus probably is that Inside is the better game, but for me, like, Firewatch is definitely one that like stuck with me more, so I put it higher. But Inside is a very, very cool game. Have we had another game from that studio yet?
No, because remember one lot went and did. Oh, what did they do? Remember these like split up, didn't they? Oh,
did they?
Yeah, I can't remember what Playdead. Playdead was making a game exclusive for Epic, but remember I played whatever game. It wasn't very good, and then the other dev made Cocoon. Remember, he made Cocoon. I think.
Yes, and Cocoon's great. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because they made Limbo before this, didn't they? And Limbo was good, but this just built on what Limbo was and made it like even much better. But then this also, I feel like Limbo and Inside spawned like so many of this type of game, didn't they? That again still be made now. Like your Reanimals, your little.
Was that Xbox Live Arcade days with Limbo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, Summer of Arcade. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm
trying to figure out what the other game was that he went and made after. Thing. I don't know. I played it. It was like, I'm sure it was an Xbox like Game Pass game, and that
sounds very memorable, Pengi. Do like Lost Souls or some shit? Some of the one I think Below, something like that. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Below. That was different.
All these games are the same, right? My 2 games that didn't make the list before we talk about Pengi's 5 that didn't were at number 5. I had Paper Mario Color Splash. I've long talked about how much I love that game on the podcast, so I don't need to do it again. And my number 3 was Severed on the PS Vita. Another game I've talked about heavily on the podcast. You know how I feel. So Pengi's games that didn't make it. So Inside didn't make it. Valhalla didn't make it. Pokemon Sun and or Moon didn't make it. Oxenfree didn't make it. And Final Fantasy 15 didn't make it.
See, wasn't Oxenfree from the year before?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got confused. Not that I don't think it would have made mine. Anyway, no, it wouldn't have done.
I think it was a PlayStation console exclusive. That's originally.
Okay.
Yeah. PlayStation 4 and 2016.
Oh yeah.
It was an Xbox One console exclusive.
The Xbox One, yeah.
From January. And then it came, the end of the year, it came to PS4, from what I can tell.
Yeah, May on PS4.
There we go. But there we go. That's our list for 2016. Will we do 2015? Who knows?
Yeah.
We're starting to get to the point where Craig's got about 4 games soon. We're going to get to a point where it's between Call of Duty and Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got a few.
You got a few more years
left where I can do it before it would get to the point where I was like, I'm not adding much here, boys.
By the time we get to 2006, that is a Craigless show. That is a Dave and Pengi episode, I think.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Well, let's get on to the last bit of the show, and that's the what we've been buying and what we've been playing. I think I'm going to do mine first because I've got quite a hefty list, and my throat just needs to go. So I haven't bought anything. On the Switch 2, Pengi, I played Pokemon Fire Red and Mario Kart World again. I play it every week. I've just got a sell ID for the continuity. I did do the Splatfest for Splatoon 3. I think my Team Bear Cubs won. Great stuff, great game. I tried Pokemon Champions, Grego. I think it's a beta at best. There's not much to be said.
This is the multi.
It's the multiplayer
This is
one.
the mobile,
Yeah.
and console one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, as I said, me and Pengi said before we started, I think in a year or two, when they've added all the Pokemon and they've ironed out some bugs and the weird monetization model, I think it'll be great. But the core Pokemon game is still a core Pokemon. It's really good. But for me right now, it's not what I wanted it to be. To be honest with you, I haven't got the time to get into competitive Pokemon. You know what I mean? So, that's what it is. It's free to play, right? So try it and go crazy. On Xbox PC, I played more Crimson Desert. I'm loving the game. I'm just annoyed it doesn't give you any achievements. I'm over 30 hours in and I've got 1 achievement for 5G. But there we go. Great game.
That sounds like early Xbox days, isn't it? Where either the completion list was ridiculously easy, you could do it in 2 hours, or it was you're getting 4 or 5G achievements after ridiculous amount of time. It's
basically play the game for 1,000 hours and you'll get all of it. It's one of those achievements, but it's a really, really fun game. It's getting better with every patch. I don't want to call it a hidden gem for this year because it's sold really well, but it's a game that I think people should be checking out if they haven't checked out. It's a really fun game. And then on the other Xbox PC game I've been playing is Starfield. I've just been plodding around doing different missions before I get into the DLC mission because it recommends level 50 and I'm level 47. So I'm just getting around doing some stuff. I really like the improvements they've made to the game. I still really like Starfield, and I'm looking forward to playing Terran Armada. And then on Xbox One, as we said earlier, I played some Titanfall 2. And then, Craigo, I've really got into Call of Duty Ghosts. So nice. I did a voice note with you guys, because I have a copy of Call of Duty Ghosts, which has got a massive chip in it, so it wouldn't install it from the disc. Then I had a brainwave, Pengi. Yes. I remembered that you can install any game on Xbox via the Xbox app on the phone, to your console. And then one of the things that Xbox does, I think Switch also does, but I know PlayStation doesn't, is you can transfer the licenses between digital and physical without having to re-download the game. So on PS4 in this scenario, if I'd installed it via the disc and then tried to play it digitally, I would have had to re-download it and vice versa. So I downloaded the game, put my disc in, it went bang, that's Call of Duty Ghosts, because it could read that, it just couldn't read the whole game. Wicked, you own that. And I've been able to play. Call of Duty Ghosts, Craig, we were harsh on Call of Duty Ghosts. The game's fun. The game's real fun. It is just a good-ass Call of Duty campaign. It feels like the first Modern Warfare trilogy. Like, it's just cool set pieces. You just go and there's nothing strange or weird about it. It is just a Call of Duty campaign, and it's really fun. So if you haven't played Call of Duty campaign, Ghosts is really good, and I really recommend it. But that's all I've been playing. So Craigo, what have you been playing?
For me, I don't think I've bought anything since last week. Kind of. So in terms of playing, it's just the two that I have been playing before. So it's more Mario Wonder on the Switch. I am on to World 3 now, I think, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think from what I've played so far, it's been very, very good. I quite like the little badge system. I like that, like, it's not just the big long levels. It kind of mixes it up. There's like the challenges. There's the ones where you're just like finding the 5 little stars to then get a wonder seed. I'm trying to get every wonder seed as I go. It's got a nice little hook to it. There's not been any bits that have been like too frustrating as of yet that I've done, which is cool. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Mario Wonder for what I've played so far. I'm happy that I took the plunge and picked that up on the Switch 2 for the Switch 2 edition. I'll be playing more of that. Only played it in handheld. It is absolutely perfect for that in bed. Just do a couple of levels if I'm watching football but aren't really fully paying attention, or something like that. Your dual screening, you got a podcast on. It's great for that. And then on the PS5, I've been playing more Last of Us 2. Yeah, one of the remaining backlog games, and I can give you the live percentage for that. I am 61% through, apparently.
Huge. How many hours?
16 apparently.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure that's right. I feel like
I
I've
don't
played
think
more
that's
than
right.
16.
You must have played more than 16. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
like
I think I have.
I took 25 hours to finish it, and you're actually going to do more side stuff than me, so...
Yeah, I've done I've been trying to do absolutely everything, going absolutely every building and read everything and all of that jazz. So yeah, I'm not sure if it tells you the save if you load up the save and how much it is. I'll try and have a look and let you boys know. But yeah, I feel like 16 is not enough. I think I played a lot more than that. I'm at the point now where you switch characters, and boys,
Yes.
I didn't really follow The Last of Us 2 obviously when it came out because I probably didn't have a PlayStation. I wasn't that interested. You know, I don't tend to follow stuff that I not really, you know, I'm not involved in. But I know there was some kickback. But boys, the Abby storyline so far is better than the Ellie one.
Nah.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's more
But
interesting.
it's not realistic. How would she have all those muscles, Dave, in a post-apocalyptic world? Where
Is
she
it
was
just
to
that
get...
men didn't like that she's buffer and could probably
No.
fucking lift more weights than she is? And then
Yeah,
they can.
how is that possible? It's not
Because
realistic.
I've come to peace that most fucking, you know, any girl that goes to the gym and lift weights can probably, you know, lift more than my scrawny ass. So that
Yeah.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found Ellie's story just a bit odd with the motivations, especially after one of the big flashback reveals. And you're like, oh, that's kind of, oh, so she knows that and she's still, oh, I'm just fucking murdering people at this point. Oh, huh. Whereas like Abby's, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm getting like the backstory of like what's happened in Seattle with like this obviously like culty group and then her group, and then she's then gone from the Fireflies and joined this WLLF, and then you're hearing about the leader and you know how it's all unfolded. And then you're meeting her friends, you're going through these like cool locations, and she seems like quite a good character, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I yeah, this just makes a lot more sense than Ellie's like motivation stuff for me at this point. So yeah, I still enjoyed like playing as Ellie, like the gameplay and all that is still cool. But yeah, I've from like the little bit of the Last of Us Part 2 that I followed. I know there's things that people are upset with, and both of them I'm like, kind of, people wrong, people wrong. Maybe people were wrong.
Yeah, maybe they are.
Yeah, but unless I'm gonna keep playing and then something happens to this and I'm like that's absolutely rubbish. It's killed everything. But yeah, from what I've played so far, I am really enjoying it. I love this little world they've made. Seattle was very cool. Seeing the different parts of it. Um, yeah, it's great. And like I said, I've been reading absolutely every note that I found, which is something I don't always do in games. I've moaned on this podcast before that if you're just putting stuff on there for me to read, I'm not going to read it. Make it more interactive than that. As if you're a video game, I'm not. If I want to read a book, I'll go read a book. I've got plenty of books I can read. But yeah, they've done such a good job of the world building that I'm like, oh no, I will read all these little notes, and it is interesting hearing about because a lot of them will be like, oh, it'd be from a certain guy, and it was had its own little story about that little area, and it will just kind of all adds to it. So yeah, I've been trying to do all the safe codes and get all the get. I want to upgrade all my gear and I want to upgrade my the characters. You can get the supplements in that right. Yeah, so yeah, I've been very much enjoying it so far. And yeah, I'm sure endeavour to keep going. Obviously, Pragmata is out now or soon, right? So
Friday.
yeah, I do want to try and play that next, really. So hopefully I can get through the rest of this fairly quickly. But yeah, I don't want to rush it at all because I'm enjoying it playing it the way I am. But that is it from me, Davey. What about you, Chris Pengelly? What have you been buying and playing?
So, pickups. I've actually got 3 pickups. So they picked them all up on Saturday. It's gone. Before we went to football, Craig, sort of thing. Because
You kept that quiet, you tricksy little hobbit.
Yeah. Yeah, I went into town before football. I had a sub in the subway.
Nice.
I had a sub.
What sub did you get?
I went for the chicken shawarma one, like the new chicken
Oh, I was tempted
shawarma.
to try it the other day. How was it?
Yeah, it was fine. It was
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, I had you could have the sauce one they recommended was the garlic mint sauce and that. I didn't. So it wasn't very minty on that, or they just didn't put enough sauce on. I was disappointed with the lack of
Pengi
sauce.
does like his sauce, though, don't you?
I do know.
You're a barbecue sauce till you die sort of man, aren't you?
Yeah. So, I did have a Subway before going in.
Anyway, back to your pickups, Pengi. Sorry, I've turned this into a takeaway podcast again.
Yeah, so we got 3 pickups here. So we got on the 3DS, a game from 2016, Monster Hunter Stories.
Oh, the OG.
The OG, yeah, the OG.
Nice.
I've played 3, I've played 2. Now I own the OG. I actually owned the OG on PC, but I now own it on 3DS. Well, so I picked that up for the 3DS. So we got that. Then we're getting a little bit older. Again, I got Soul Calibur Legends for the Wii. Dave, I don't think I've ever seen this game. I didn't even know it existed.
It's the fighting game one, right?
Well, I don't think it actually is a fighting game. I think it's a third-person beat-em-up.
Yeah.
I think it's a beat-em-up, not actually a fighting game.
I'm sure I have played it. It's like a behind-the-shoulder fighting game is what I mean. It's not like side-scrolling. It's strange.
Yeah, I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know this game. I knew there's the Castlevania game on, which is a fighting game, weirdly, on the Wii, Castlevania Judgment, which I don't own. But it's like, wait, there's a Soul Calibur game on the Wii? I didn't know that.
Go. Now you've got it. Now you can play it. It's your heart's content.
I could play it, Mike. And then we go older again. I got Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy on the GameCube.
Nice. Strange pick.
Yes. Yeah, you said it's I played this back in the day on the original Xbox, and it is actually a backwards compatible game on the Xbox. I'm sure it is, but they did remaster not that long ago as well, didn't they, Dave?
I have no idea.
Sphinx
is not a game I thought I'd ever hear again, Pengi, if I'm honest with you.
I'm sure THQ remastered it. I was more surprised to see a GameCube game I don't own, which isn't that shocking because there's 450 PAL GameCube games and I have like 100. So it's still 350 I have at home. But normally, you go into like a CEX and all you see is Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion. You don't really see anything apart from like the Nintendo games, which is obviously great for the GameCube. They're great games, but it's like I got all them, so I was like a shock to see one that isn't like £500 million like Kirby Air Ride is on the GameCube, because you occasionally weirdly see that, and it was like I said, it's like 500 quid when I do. So I don't own that game, so I'm more surprised that. I think, like I said, back in the day, I played it on the original Xbox, so that's my pickups. Well, I technically what I've played is a pickup as well, Craig. So I've played one thing, only one
Dare I
thing.
ask how much those were, Pengi?
30 quid for the 3 games. So
Oh,
£10
that's
each.
not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. The most expensive is Monster Hunter Stories at 20. So.
That's somewhat sensible for you, Pengi. Proud of you.
Yeah. That's again, when I saw Carnival Legends for like a £5, I was like, wait, I've never heard of this game, and it's that thing. So I'm gonna get that. So there we go. So I gotta get that. But then the only one thing I've played, and it might be a little shocking, I've bought it, because it's not reviewed well at all. It was 1 point on a 54, went up to a 60, and I think it's down to a 58. It's only on PC, so the PC is getting use at the thing, and it says it's going to get some more use because it replaces that today. And then it's not long till what's something next week or something. Opus Prism Peak is this week as well on PC. But Samson, I bought Samson, Craig.
Nice.
I didn't. I went and got a code Steam key from a site as well. I've always wondered about those Steam keys, Craig and Dave. Like, should you buy them and stuff? Because like give it on Steam. You obviously buy straight from Steam, giving Death the money. But apparently, Des give like the keys to like the sites, and they do it on purpose so they get around the 30% giving to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it's a legit business. I'm pretty sure they sponsor Crystal Palace, the site that you usually use.
Yeah. Well, I didn't use that one. I did use a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, it's like I was talking to like the a new PC Discord I'm in. I was talking about it there. One of the guys is a Bristol Rovers fan, so there you go.
There's no accounting for taste, is there?
I thought I'd let you know that. But anyway, I bought it. I paid £17 for it. Well, it's supposed to be £21 on Steam, and like I said, should I have bought it on Steam? Should I have bought this key? Who knows? Especially like you look at big games like Pragmata added on sites, things like that. I guess 30% for 40 quid game for Capcom is quite a bit of money. So I bought it. It didn't review very well, and obviously I played it on day one, or launch. Fairly fine to me. Obviously, PC, new to PC gaming. There's lots of settings like which resolution should I be playing? Should I be using FSR or TAA? Should I be playing in ultra high? Blah blah blah. Then I saw in like the PC the gamer Discord and stuff. I was like, no, the game's got performance issues. They're putting out a patch that's going to come within the next week, and actually came out the next day, sort of thing. Sort of thing. And I think a couple early reviews did mention performance and things like that, stuff like that. And bugs. There is a few bugs in the game, but they're kind of like they're not game-breaking bugs. They kind of remind me of like Bethesda games, not to like shit on them and stuff like that. But like the characters, like you're supposed to beat up this guy, and he's just standing there, so you just punch him, and he dies, but the health bar goes down, but the character doesn't fall down or anything like that. It's just stood there, you're just punching him, sort of thing. That sort of like bugs the game's got. But I've not found like the game's not crashed on me, or I've driven through a building because the walls are weirdly invisible or something like that. Nothing. Fell through the ground. Like an Assassin's Creed game or anything like that. No bugs, sort of. Like that. The combat is not great though. You use the shoulder buttons. You only actually use two. I'm using an Xbox controller, so you use the right bumper for light attacks and right trigger for heavy attacks, and use left bumper for parry and the other one to like throw if you got weapons and stuff. The combat is not great at all, really, but it has like this. You like obviously got your car and stuff, which is like I don't know, like a Dodge Charger or something like that. It reminds me of the car from Driver, that sort of thing. But it's got this like cool like time mechanic. So you do, like when you do the missions, it uses time up, and you got this like points, and where you got to use your action points. So you're trying to pull off your debt, because you got like this 100 grand debt you get to pull off. So you need the money. If you don't pay the money, like you got to pay a certain amount every day. If you don't, like guys will come like beat you up in the money. Even though that's kind of weird, they can't beat you up, but if you like dead or something, obviously you can't go pay off the debt and stuff like that. But I did find out today, if you do the story missions and like just avoid the mob, you can just actually finish the game like that. You don't actually have to pay off the debt. And I actually are on chapter 11 of 14 chapters. I think so. Just some cool things, that like how it moves the time along, and like if you can do a car mission, a like on foot mission. They are quite similar. You get like racing car missions. One where you have to like get away, like someone's robbing a bank. So you're robbing a bank, so you're the getaway driver. Someone's like, oh, you need to go beat up someone because he owes me, money. That sort of thing. It's like a mini GTA, but it's like a city that you're in, is like dirty and grimy. That's why I said it kind of reminds me of like the Getaway or the Driver, those two games and stuff like the setting more than a GTA, which is normally like Vice City, bright color, sort of more bright, colorful and stuff. Is slightly more serious than that. Like I said, I've not really had any performance issues or anything like that. I feel if they have some more patches and all that stuff, and like it's only on PC at the moment, it comes to consoles, you're most probably gonna have a better time and experience. And like it's on a 60 at the moment. I can see like comes to console, push square on Nintendo Life reviewed it and adding to the scores. I can see it going up a bit. I don't see it going past like a 70. It's that sort of game. It's like 7 out of 10 game. It's it's fine. It knows what it's doing. It's going to be about 10 hours long. It's 17 quid or 21, like the proper price on Steam. It's not not a fifth. It's 50 quid or something. You'd be like, yeah, that's too much. That's the same price of Pragmata, but for what it is and what it does, it's pretty good. And like I said, I've nearly finished it. Then it'd be like Pragmata time.
And there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So is that everything, Pengi?
That's everything.
Wonderful. That's another show in the books. Thank you, everyone, that's watching. We will see you next week. Like I said, as Pengels said, there will be episodes about showcases if they happen. If not, we'll think of something. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.